Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of one of America's most iconic coins, the United States $quarter from 1974. What if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin, which has likely passed through your hands countless times, could be worth a staggering sum? Stick around to find out how a simple quarter could make you thousands, and maybe even tens of thousands, of dollars. The 1974 $quarter is a part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. While many collectors focus on certain years or specific mint marks, the 1974 quarter is one that shouldn't be overlooked. At first glance, it might appear just like any other quarter you've come across, but the truth is, this coin has a rich history and could be worth much more than you think, if you know what to look for. In the mid-1970s, the United States was experiencing a time of economic change. The country was dealing with inflation, the tail end of the Vietnam War, and shifting cultural landscapes. It was a period when the minting of coins was abundant, yet certain rarities emerged unexpectedly. The 1974 quarter, while not particularly rare in terms of mintage numbers, is special for a few reasons. Now, let's look at the design of the coin itself. The 1974 quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's profile is engraved on the obverse side, facing left, with the inscriptions "Liberty" and the year 1974 above him. The reverse side displays the American eagle, perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, representing the country's strength and peace. The legend "United States of America" arches above, with the words "E pluribus unum" beneath, which translates to "out of many, one." Despite the coin's seemingly standard design, the real value lies in a few rare and unique characteristics. Some 1974 quarters were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, which is a mistake made during the minting process. These errors can occur when a coin is stamped onto a blank piece of metal that is not intended for that denomination. In these cases, the quarter might end up on a planchet meant for a different coin, like a dime or a $half. These striking errors are incredibly rare and highly desirable to collectors, and they're often worth much more than their face value. But what makes the 1974 quarter particularly interesting is the possibility of it being a double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment, causing the design to be stamped twice. This results in a coin with a slightly doubled image, something that's highly prized by numismatists. The 1974 quarter with a double die is especially sought after by collectors, and the prices for these rare varieties can soar when found in pristine condition. So, what kind of value are we talking about here? Well, if you happen to have a 1974 quarter in near-perfect condition and it carries one of these errors, you could be holding something truly special. The value for these misstruck coins can range greatly depending on their condition, but it's not uncommon to see a double die 1974 quarter fetch anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. However, the most surprising aspect of this coin is its potential to be worth up to $57,000. That's right, $57,000 for a single 1974 quarter. This is the kind of value a rare, double die, or planchet error coin could fetch on the market when it's in exceptional condition. It's a reminder that even the most common coins can hold extraordinary value if you're lucky enough to find one of these hidden gems. So, how can you identify a 1974 quarter that's worth this kind of money? The key is in the details. If you have a 1974 quarter, examine it carefully under a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling on the lettering, the date, or the eagle. Check the mint mark, which can be found near the front of Washington's neck. The location of the mint mark can tell you whether the coin was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, but it's the error varieties that really drive up the price. Remember, condition is everything. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it will be. Coins that are in uncirculated, mint state, or near mint condition are the ones that fetch the highest prices at auction or through private sales. So, if you come across a 1974 quarter that looks like it's never been used or shows minimal wear, it could be your lucky day. It's important to note that the standard 1974 quarter, without any minting errors, is worth only its face value, 25 cents. But the world of numismatics is full of surprises, and the market for rare coins is ever evolving. So, don't overlook those coins sitting at the bottom of your change jar or tucked away in a drawer. You just might be sitting on a small fortune. If you're new to coin collecting or are just starting to look at your quarters more closely, this is a perfect example of why it pays to take a second look. Coins that might seem ordinary at first glance could be hiding something valuable, and knowing what to look for can turn your hobby into a profitable pursuit. So, the next time you handle a 1974 quarter, take a moment to inspect it. It could be worth far more than you expected. And if you happen to have a rare mint error coin in your collection, you might be looking at a small treasure trove worth $57,000. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found this information helpful and exciting, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more coin discoveries like this. Top 2, we have a truly exciting topic to explore here on World Coins History. We're diving into the 1983 United States quarter dollar, a coin that, while it may seem fairly ordinary at first glance, could actually be hiding a small fortune. That's right, this seemingly simple quarter could be worth much more than you think. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's uncover the hidden treasures of the 1983 quarter and see how much it could be worth in today's market. Let's take a moment to understand the context behind the 1983 quarter. This coin is part of the iconic Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. It features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse side, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse side showcases the majestic eagle, representing the United States' strength and freedom. The design has remained largely unchanged over the years, which is why many collectors find it so appealing, but don't be fooled. There are some 1983 quarters out there that are much more valuable than their face value of 25 cents. While most 1983 quarters were produced in large quantities and circulated widely, there are some key factors that make certain 1983 quarters rare and incredibly valuable. The first thing to note is that this particular year of quarters was struck in very high numbers, meaning it's not inherently rare just because of the year. However, there is something special about certain examples from this year that could be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars if you happen to have one of them in your collection. One of the most significant factors influencing the value of the 1983 quarter is the presence of minting errors. When a coin is struck with a flaw, whether it's a misaligned die, a doubled image, or an incorrectly cut planchet, these mistakes can make the coin a rare and highly sought-after piece. For instance, some 1983 quarters were accidentally struck with off-center designs, where the image wasn't properly aligned with the coin's edge. These off-center coins are incredibly rare and can fetch high prices among collectors, especially if they're in good condition. Another common error on the 1983 quarter is the dropped letter error. In this case, certain coins were struck with a portion of the mint mark or the lettering missing due to a malfunction in the minting press. These coins are also rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them because they make for a truly unique addition to any collection. The dropped letter error makes a coin stand out, and a well-preserved example can demand a pretty hefty sum in the marketplace. There's also the possibility of a 1983 quarter that was mistakenly struck with the wrong type of metal. As you may know, U.S. coins are made from specific alloys that are carefully mixed to create the proper weight and feel. But occasionally, a coin is struck using a different planchet, a metal blank meant for another denomination. If your 1983 quarter is made from an incorrect alloy, it could have a significant premium in the marketplace. Coins struck on the wrong metal planchets are particularly desirable because they are even more unusual than typical mint errors. So, what kind of value are we talking about? The price of a 1983 quarter can vary dramatically depending on its condition and any errors it may carry. A standard 1983 quarter is worth just its face value, 25 cents. However, If your quarter happens to feature one of the aforementioned minting errors or is in exceptional condition, it could fetch much higher prices. Even a relatively small flaw, like a minor die crack or an off-center strike, can cause the value of this coin to rise significantly. But what about those rare 1983 quarters that are in near-perfect condition or have an error that sets them apart from the rest? If you happen to possess one of these coins, the value can skyrocket. You may be wondering exactly how much a 1983 quarter could potentially be worth. Well, it's not uncommon to see these rare error coins selling for thousands of dollars at auctions or through private sales. In fact, depending on the rarity and condition of the coin, a 1983 quarter could be worth as much as $50,000. That's right, $50,000 for a single quarter. This incredible amount of money is possible when a rare, error-free or near-perfect 1983 quarter comes onto the market. The combination of historical significance, minting error, and excellent preservation can drive up the value significantly. If you're a collector, or just someone who enjoys hunting through your spare change, it's important to know how to identify these valuable coins. Look closely at the 1983 quarters you have. Use a magnifying glass or even a microscope to examine them under different lighting. Pay particular attention to any signs of errors, such as off-center strikes, doubled images, or unusual wear patterns. Additionally, check for any signs of unusual metal composition or damage caused by the minting process. These are all clues that could lead you to a coin worth far more than its face value. For those new to the world of coin collecting, the 1983 quarter serves as a great reminder of how a simple coin can have extraordinary value when the right conditions align. Even though many 1983 quarters are common and relatively low in value, there are some out there that are truly special, and finding one of these rare examples could be your ticket to a significant payday. So, the next time you handle a 1983 quarter, take a moment to look a little closer. You might just be holding a rare mint error that could make you a lot more than 25 cents. It's a thrilling reminder that coin collecting is not just about the coins you have, but the potential they carry. Who knows? Your 1983 quarter could be worth $50,000. Top 3. We're going to dive into one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the United States quarter dollar from 1965. This quarter is a special one, not just because of its design or its place in history, but because it could be worth far more than you might ever imagine. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because you might just have a small fortune sitting in your coin jar. Let's start by setting the stage. The year 1965 was a time of major change for the United States. The country was in the midst of the post-World War II economic boom, and a lot was happening politically and socially. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, the Vietnam War was intensifying, and the country was transitioning into a new era of social change. It was also a pivotal time for American coinage. Prior to 1965, U.S. quarters were made primarily from 90% silver. However, due to rising silver prices and a coin shortage, the U.S. government decided to change the composition of many of its coins, including the quarter. In 1965, the U.S. Treasury began producing quarters with a clad composition, a mixture of copper and nickel, replacing the silver content entirely. This was a major shift that would have a lasting impact on the coinage of the nation. Despite the changes in metal content, the design of the 1965 quarter remained the same as its predecessors. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, surrounded by the inscriptions, Liberty and, In God We Trust. On the reverse side, the American eagle is depicted with its wings spread wide, symbolizing strength and freedom, with the words, United States of America, and, quarter dollar, inscribed around it. While the 1965 quarter is often considered a standard, modern coin, there's one key reason why this particular year of quarter can be so valuable: it's all about the error coins. Minting errors are a common phenomenon in the world of coin collecting, and they can turn an otherwise regular coin into a highly sought-after treasure. And the 1965 quarter is no exception. One of the most exciting things about the 1965 quarter is that, in some rare cases, certain coins from this year were struck with significant errors that make them worth a lot of money. One of the most valuable errors you can find is a double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment, resulting in a slightly doubled image. This can happen on any part of the coin's design, from the lettering to the image of Washington, and even the eagle. A double die error makes the coin stand out because the design appears faintly doubled, which collectors love because it makes the coin unique and interesting. Another notable error that can occur with the 1965 quarter is the clad layer separation error. As the U.S. government switched to the new clad composition in 1965, the metal layers of the coin sometimes didn't bond properly during the minting process. This resulted in some coins with visible separation of the copper and nickel layers. These clad layer separation coins are extremely rare and are considered highly valuable among collectors due to their unique appearance and the fact that they reflect a flaw in the minting process that was not common at the time. But it's not just the minting errors that make the 1965 quarter valuable. There's also the fact that coins from this year, in general, were produced in such large quantities that few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. It's not uncommon for quarters from the mid-1960s to show signs of wear and tear, so finding one that is in excellent condition can be like finding a diamond in the rough. A 1965 quarter in mint state, with no visible scratches or wear, can dramatically increase in value over time, as collectors are always seeking out the highest quality examples for their collections. So, what kind of value are we talking about for a 1965 quarter? Well, the answer varies depending on the condition of the coin and whether it has any errors or unique features. A regular, non-error 1965 quarter in circulated condition is worth only face value, 25 cents. However, if you happen to have one of the error coins, the value can rise significantly. Let's get to the exciting part. A well-preserved 1965 quarter with a notable minting error, such as a double die or clad layer separation, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars to the right buyer. In fact, a 1965 quarter in pristine condition with an especially rare error can fetch up to $65,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $65,000 for a single 1965 quarter. That's the kind of value a rare, error-filled coin can bring in today's market, especially if it's in excellent condition and has been carefully preserved. If you're lucky enough to find a 1965 quarter with one of these rare errors, you could be holding a coin that will increase in value over time. It's always a good idea to keep your coins stored properly and get them professionally graded if you think they might be valuable. A coin's grade, its level of preservation, plays a huge role in its value. So if you have a 1965 quarter that looks like it's been sitting in a drawer for decades, it might be worth having it checked by a professional. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and this 1965 quarter serves as a perfect example of how something that seems ordinary on the surface can actually hold a hidden fortune. If you're looking to get into coin collecting, or if you just want to know more about the potential treasures in your pocket change, the 1965 quarter is definitely one to keep an eye on. Next time you come across a 1965 quarter, take a moment to inspect it carefully. It could be the coin that changes everything. You never know, it might just be worth $65,000. Top 4, we're going to uncover the surprising value of a coin you might overlook. The 1988 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this quarter may seem like just another regular piece of currency, but don't be fooled. There are certain factors about this coin that could make it worth thousands of dollars, so stick around to learn why the 1988 quarter might be hiding a treasure you didn't expect. Let's set the stage by talking about the year 1988. The world was in the midst of significant change. The United States was in the middle of the Reagan administration, and the economy was experiencing a period of growth following the recovery from the early 1980s recession. While this period was full of cultural and political shifts, it was also an important year for coin collectors. That's because in 1988, the United States Mint continued its regular production of quarters as part of the Washington Quarter series, which had been in circulation since 1932. The iconic design of George Washington, by John Flanagan, was still in use, with Washington's profile on the obverse side and the eagle on the reverse. However, the 1988 quarter is not just a run-of-the-mill coin. The 1980s were a time of transition for U.S. coinage, as the country moved away from using silver in its circulating coins. The 1988 quarter was part of the regular clad coinage, made of copper and nickel, and while it seemed like just another standard issue at the time, a closer look reveals that this particular year has some unique traits that could make it valuable to collectors. So, what exactly makes the 1988 quarter stand out in the world of coin collecting? The answer lies in minting errors. Over the years, coin collectors have come to realize that mistakes made during the minting process can lead to coins being worth far more than their face value. These minting errors come in many forms, and the 1988 quarter is no exception. One of the most significant errors associated with the 1988 quarter is the off-center strike. During the minting process, if the metal planchet, the blank piece of metal that is struck to create the coin, is not properly aligned in the press, the design may be struck off-center. This results in a coin that has a portion of its design missing on one side, while the other side is fully struck. This error is rare, and when it happens on a 1988 quarter, it can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a highly sought-after piece for collectors. Another potential error is the double die variety. A double die occurs when the coin is struck twice, with slight misalignment between the strikes. This results in a coin that has a design with doubled features, like the lettering or numbers, on the obverse or reverse. A double die error on a 1988 quarter can be particularly valuable because it adds a unique visual element to the coin that collectors find highly attractive. If you happen to have a 1988 quarter with a noticeable double die, it could increase its value significantly. In addition to the errors, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. While many 1988 quarters are in circulation and have been worn down by years of use, those that have been well preserved or remain in uncirculated condition are worth much more. Coins that are free from scratches, dents, or other signs of wear are prized by collectors, who are always on the lookout for high-quality examples to add to their collections. If your 1988 quarter is in near-perfect or mint condition, it could make a world of difference in its value. You might be wondering, how much can these rare 1988 quarters actually be worth? Well, the value depends on a few factors: the type of minting error, the condition of the coin, and how rare the error is. In general, a regular 1988 quarter is worth its face value of 25 cents. But when you throw in an error coin or a well-preserved example, the price can go through the roof. A coin that struck off-center or has a double die can be worth much more than face value. Collectors and dealers alike are always looking for these special pieces, and the competition for rare coins can drive prices up. Some error coins from the 1988 series have been sold for thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and severity of the minting mistake. And if the coin is in pristine condition with a significant error, it can command an even higher price. Here's the exciting part: if you happen to have a rare 1988 quarter with one of these minting errors, it could be worth as much as $41,000. Yes, that's right, $41,000 for a single 1988 quarter. This is not a price you would expect from a coin that's typically worth only 25 cents, but that's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes, a coin that seems ordinary at first glance turns out to be a hidden treasure. So, how can you know if your 1988 quarter is worth a small fortune? The key is to examine it closely. Look for any signs of errors, such as off-center strikes, doubled letters or numbers, or unusual wear patterns. Using a magnifying glass or a loupe can help you get a better look at the details. And if you suspect your quarter might be a valuable error coin, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded. A professional grading service will assess the coin's condition and authenticity, which can help you determine its market value. Coin collecting is all about finding the unexpected, and the 1988 quarter is a perfect example of how even a coin from the 1980s can become a sought-after treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 1988 quarter is definitely one to keep an eye on. So, the next time you're flipping through your change jar or going through your spare change, remember, that ordinary 1988 quarter could be worth $41,000. Top 5 and last coin, we have a special treat for you, a coin that might seem ordinary but could actually be worth an incredible amount of money. We're talking about the United States quarter dollar from 1989. If you've ever come across one of these coins, you might want to hold on to it a little tighter after hearing what we have to say. This 1989 quarter, while part of the regular Washington quarter series, has some unique qualities that can make it worth thousands of dollars. Let's take a closer look at what makes this quarter so valuable and why it might be hiding a fortune. To begin, let's set the stage with the year 1989. The world was changing, and the United States was at the cusp of a new decade. The country was under the leadership of President George H.W. Bush, and the world saw the end of the Cold War, along with major shifts in global politics. The economy was strong, and American coinage was moving forward, with a focus on maintaining the regular designs that were familiar to the public. The 1989 quarter, much like its predecessors, featured the beloved portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, symbolizing the strength and independence of the nation. However, the 1989 quarter wasn't just another regular coin to be used for daily transactions. Over time, it became clear that certain coins from this year had more value than their face value of 25 cents. What made these coins especially valuable? It all comes down to minting errors, a phenomenon that occurs when something goes wrong during the process of making the coin. Minting errors can dramatically increase a coin's value, and the 1989 quarter has some errors that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. One of the most significant errors that makes the 1989 quarter valuable is the off-center strike. When a coin is struck off-center, the design appears misaligned, with part of the coin lacking the imprint of the original design. In some cases, this results in a coin with one side fully struck, while the other side is only partially visible or blank. Off-center strike errors are incredibly rare, and when they happen on a 1989 quarter, they can significantly increase the coin's value. These types of errors are especially sought after by collectors because they make the coin stand out from the rest, giving it a unique characteristic that no other coin has. Another valuable feature of the 1989 quarter is the possibility of a double die error. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, with a slight misalignment between the two strikes. As a result, the coin's design appears doubled, especially in the lettering or numbers. Double die errors are particularly interesting to collectors because they create a visual effect that is both unusual and aesthetically appealing. If you happen to have a 1989 quarter with a double die, it could be worth much more than a standard coin from that year. In addition to these minting errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. Many 1989 quarters were circulated heavily and have suffered from wear and tear over the years. A coin that has been in circulation for decades is unlikely to be in perfect condition, but if you find one that has been well preserved or remains uncirculated, it could fetch a much higher price. Coins in mint condition, especially those with a flawless appearance and no visible signs of damage, are always in demand. A 1989 quarter that shows no signs of wear and has been kept in pristine condition can quickly become a valuable asset in the world of coin collecting. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1989 quarter could be worth. Well, the answer depends on a few factors. If the coin is in typical circulated condition without any errors, it's worth exactly 25 cents. However, when you introduce an off-center strike or a double die error, the value skyrockets. Error coins like these can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity of the error and the overall condition of the coin, but here's where things get truly exciting. A 1989 quarter with a significant error, especially one in excellent condition, can fetch up to $40,000. Yes, that's right, $40,000 for a single 1989 quarter. This is the type of value that can make any coin collector's heart race. The rarity of these error coins, combined with the growing demand among collectors, has driven prices up for these quarters. It's hard to believe that a simple 25-cent coin could hold such an impressive value, but that's the magic of coin collecting. So, if you're out there hunting for valuable coins, or you just happen to have a collection of quarters from the 1980s lying around, it might be worth your time to take a closer look at your 1989 quarters. If you spot any minting errors, or if the coin is in especially good condition, you could be holding on to a rare treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. To make sure you don't miss out on valuable coins like the 1989 quarter, be sure to examine your collection carefully. Look for any unusual signs of errors, especially off-center strikes or double die mistakes. If you find something that stands out, consider getting it professionally graded by a certified expert. A professional grading service will give you an accurate assessment of the coin's condition and help you determine its true market value. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1989 United States quarter dollar. If you enjoyed learning about this coin and its potential value, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to World Coins History, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future coin discoveries. Who knows? Your next great find could be just around the corner. Happy collecting, and thank you for watching.